Allow me to introduce the loveliest of lovelies, Prema Gaia and Betsy Finkelhoo. Prem is a women's leadership and business coach, a meditation teacher, an oracle, a visionary writer, and a plant spirit ceremonialist. She's been working with the Sage app for years, I feel like now. And if you haven't listened to her guided meditations, you should. You definitely should. So Betsy, on the other hand, is an intuitive, hands-on healer, an artist, and event producer. Her healing modalities include hands-on energy healing, cranial sacral, theta healing, and supportive coaching. So these are two pretty incredible powerhouse women, and I am so excited to be sharing space with them today. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I am turning this over to them right now.
Thank you so much, Ava Love. We're so excited and honored to be here. Betsy is coming in from Encinitas, California, and I'm coming in all the way from the jungles of Dominical, Costa Rica. So we're kind of an international crew here this evening. And before we dive in, I would love to start with a guided attunement, which is how I like to start pretty much everything I do. So I'd love to invite us to put one hand over the heart and one hand over the lower belly. And just take a few deep, slow, self-loving, centering, nourishing breaths. Just bringing all of your attention and all of your awareness right back home to the center of your being, to the center of this sacred, precious body temple of yours in this moment. And just grounding, settling, relaxing in as we prepare for this next beautiful hour of sharing on this quarter moon auspicious day shortly before the solstice. Such an auspicious time for us to join our hearts and prayers together in this sacred way. So bringing our awareness down to the hand that's over top of the lower belly. And I want to invite you to fully soften and relax your belly in this moment. Just really let it go. Breathing into the belly. Exhaling with a sigh. And just letting go of anything that has come so far today that you don't need to be carrying with you for this next hour of shared sacred space. Releasing it into the earth below you, just letting it go, letting it be recycled and alchemized for fresh new energy that serves the greatest good. And feeling your feet, just giving your toes a little wiggle and opening up the chakra centers or the energy centers on your feet, and just opening up to your connection to Mama Earth in this moment. And opening up to all of her loving support, her nourishment, and that feeling of being held by a force that is far, far greater than us, by the loving unified field that connects all of life on this beautiful planet that we're blessed to live on and co-create on and help to make into an even more beautiful, harmonious, kind, and equitable place during our lifetimes. So visualizing from the feet and also from the tailbone, the root chakra, visualizing roots growing down slowly yet firmly all the way down to the center of the earth. And you can visualize the roots getting thicker and stronger as they go all the way down through the various layers, touching on the pure, clear waters inside the layers of the earth, the soil, the gemstones, the magma, all the way down to the center of the earth. And as the roots have gotten to the center of the earth, you can visualize the heart, the energetic heart center of Mama Gaia, Mama Earth. Feeling her heart, feeling her love for you. Feeling her unconditional, unwavering love, and just wrapping your roots all the way around the heart of Mama Gaia in this moment. giving her a big, big hug and feeling her energy rise up to meet you, her beloved daughters, and if there's any men on the call this evening, her beloved sons, her beloved children who are here on this planet during this time of paradigm shift, each one with the seed of a unique dharma, with the seed of a unique destiny, a unique mission to bring a piece of the puzzle forward to help rebalance the energies on this planet in a beautiful, uplifting way. So let's bring some of that loving energy up through your roots and breathe it up through all the way up to your feet. And then all the way up into your whole body, bringing Mother Earth's loving, supportive energy, all of Mama Earth's energy, plus the energy of the plants, the energies of the animals, the energies of the waters, the elements, bringing some of that beautiful energy up into your body and into your whole energy field, just visualizing it. You can visualize it like red, grounding, nourishing energy that just fills you up to the brim with replenishment, replenishing support. And from there, bringing the awareness back up through the central channel in the center of the body, opening up to your crown chakra at the top of your head and opening up above to all the support that's here for you and your unique path and your beautiful soul mission here on earth, opening up to the support of your angels and your guides and all those that are with you always to support, illuminate, and guide the path forward one step at a time. And I ask that our call today be guided. I ask that our call be blessed. And I ask that each and every one of us here on this call receive some inspiration and nourishment and some golden nuggets from our time together today. So thank you to each one of you. Thank you to Betsy. Thank you to Ava. Thank you to Julia. Thank you to everyone calling in from all different parts of the world. May each one of us always remember how precious and how loved we are. Blessed be. Aho.
Drinking that in. You're welcome to rub your hands. This is a nice practice to anchor it in more fully. Rub your hands together and you start to feel that energy that was just cultivated from the inside of the earth and inside of your being. And as you start to feel the heat, then just go ahead and from the top of the head to the back of the head, just give yourself a little wipe down. You're like just infusing it into your cells even more fully, arriving here in this body, continuing to open to receive what's here for you today. So grateful. Thank you for that, Prema. So ladies, I would love to just give you a little insight in what we're here to do tonight. So we all are here on this first quarter moon celebration, which is a very rare time for me, and I'm sure many of you, to be celebrating quarter moons, because oftentimes it's a full moon or the new moon that we really put energy and attention on. But here we are on the quarter moon. Many of you have probably seen it starting to set when it starts getting a little bit darker out. You're seeing this beautiful half moon up in the top peak of the sky in the middle of the day. Looks like a bowl just pouring down energy on you. A little fun fact about the quarter moon before we dive in is that in all time zones, the quarter moon rises at noon and sets at midnight. And so it's that half moon, right? So we're going to get into a little bit more about that around the significance of this quarter moon, the significance of the solstice that Ava mentioned. And the theme of tonight is really about unlocking your mindset. Because here we are really rising up and out of limiting beliefs all together collectively and individually. And Prema and I are so deeply passionate about bringing you some amazing tools to help you really get anchored into your practices and help to support the liberation of your mind, so that way you can live a luscious, juicy life and have wonderful relationships, not only with the people around you, but ultimately with yourself. So make sure you stay till the end, because we have some really fun practices. Grab your journal if you have one. And we have some really fun things that we're going to give to you to take home. So that will be later in the call. And we'd love to give you a little insight into who we are also and why we're so passionate about this. So I'll start with myself. Prema mentioned I'm here in Encinitas, which is coastal San Diego. One of the things I've been most passionate about in the last few years is really about mindset and using affirmations as a tool to help us to reprogram limiting beliefs. And I've learned so much over the last few years. And one of the things that I have found such great insight in working with my clients, whether it's my massage clients or my coaching clients or in my groups, I find that the integration is a key to the full embodied awakening of these new belief systems. And so I have a journal that I'll share with you more later too, that helps you write your affirmations and using gratitude and empowering questions. I'm going to take you on a little journey on how to write your own affirmations in a bit. And ultimately, a little sneak peek too in Prema and I's magical co-creation. Her and I have been friends for years. And I will tell you that prayer that you all just experienced, the women that are on video, I could feel you just lighting up. I see you each lighting up from her prayer. Most of the time that we get together, we drop into that kind of space. And it's just such a beautiful, heart-centered, connected space where we both are passionate about helping women and men, but primarily women, to really live a more liberated life. And we do that for each other. And so it's a real deep honor to get to be co-creating here with you, Prema. And thank you, Ava and Julia of Sage, to provide this space for us to be in service. So grateful to meet you all.
Thank you so much, Betsy. So I'd love to share a little bit about my background and what led me to be here with you all on this call this evening, sharing about unlocking your mindset and unlocking your consciousness. I've had a pretty unusual path. So in 2006, I received clear guidance. This is 15 years ago. I received clear guidance to give away all of my possessions till I only had the clothes on my back and start walking. And so I ended up walking over 350 miles, sleeping outside on picnic tables, on bales of hay, on back doorsteps of churches, and just following my guidance. Where am I meant to go next? Who am I meant to meet? My inspiration at the time was to meet and learn from the sages and wisdom keepers and mystics that are alive on this planet, that are the way showers for a new way of living on this planet. And so like I said, I walked over 350 miles visiting different spiritual teachers, visiting ashrams, visiting intentional communities. And then I went on to hitchhike over 20,000 miles, actually, on a 5-year-long vision quest. I was doing some long solo retreats in the forest. I did a 20-day solo retreat in the Gila wilderness. I did another 20-day solo retreat in a mud hogan, which is an indigenous mud hut in Tres Piedras, New Mexico. And all along my hitchhiking journeys, I was just always asking people, who are the most awakened teachers you've ever met? And what are the most inspiring evolutionary communities and hubs for consciousness evolution on the planet? Basically, I was tuning in to understand what the landscape is of consciousness evolution, because my passion was to liberate myself, liberate my consciousness, liberate myself from suffering, and to support in liberating other people as well. So in 2012, after being on my vision quest for about 5 years, I received clear guidance to go back into busy urban life. And I had given away my possessions. I had shaved my head. I actually stopped using money for 7 months as part of my spiritual practice. I was just bartering. And so when I received the guidance to come back into busy urban life, I was actually sad, because I loved being out in nature and I had gotten really used to kind of a renunciant life. And I was I had just really grown fond of being so close to spirit. And it was like me and spirit. And like, that was my life, you know, and I didn't really care about a career or about, I was just following my spirit all the time. That was my life. And so when I was guided in 2012 to come back into busy urban life and study leadership, coaching, entrepreneurship, marketing, I was kind of surprised that I was going to be going back into that lifestyle again. But I ended up diving really deeply into that world. So starting in 2012 up to now, I've been cultivating and collecting wisdom and tools and practices to support soulful entrepreneurs and purpose-guided visionaries in getting their work out into the world in a way that will help to rebalance the world into a world that's more harmonious, equitable, kind, and sustainable for everyone on the planet. And so it's been quite a journey. And just last year on Solstice, I was invited to join a collective of some of the top women entrepreneurs from around the world. There's 45 women from all around the world, and all are multi-6-figure entrepreneurs, multi-7-figure entrepreneurs. And the reason that I'm drawn to that is because I believe that part of my dharma is to play a role in the great global wealth transfer that's happening right now at this time, where the wealth is being transferred from the hands of the 1% into the hands of conscious, heart-guided visionaries that are here to do good for the benefit of all. So that's a little bit about my background. And Betsy, I'll pass it back over to you.
Well, first, we're just going to give you a super love blast, sister. Wow. We have to just take a moment. I think everyone here is probably in a wow of listening to you. And so just want to take that moment before we just jump into the next thing. So thank you so much for sharing such a beautiful and succinct peek into your journey. And it's wow. Yeah, it's really beautiful how you have integrated so much of that wisdom that on your journey now into your service. So beautiful. Yeah, thank you for that. Of course. Yes, so amazing. Yes, love all your comments in there, ladies. That's a little love blast for Prema. Thank you so much. Yes, would love to get into this next piece around mindset. Except first, I just want to mention a couple of things about this quarter moon and the summer solstice. So I have a couple of slides that I would love to share with you all. We love beautiful visuals. So I'm going to just pop this up here. Can you see my slides where it says we're in exciting times? Okay, great. Which that we are. Prema, you just spoke to it so beautifully. And it is a wild ride that we're on, isn't it? And there is a lot moving. We have just come off of a eclipse portal. We had a new moon eclipse, solar eclipse last week. And now we are approaching another super full moon on the 24th. And right now we're in the quarter moon. And so the significance of this is really about how do we ride that energy of the seeds that we planted on that new moon, right? Because the new moon is really about setting new intentions, creating space for new things to come in. And so now we're getting to really start to clarify those plans. We're going to start to really bring those into fruition. So let me just get to the next slide. So a few little reminders and rituals for this quarter moon and solstice. So it's a very sacred time, has been celebrated for centuries, the solstice, right? People are festivaling all over the world. So like I had mentioned, it's a great time to clarify plans as we move into the next full moon. This is a really great time to just keep watering those seeds you planted and start to watch them blossom. This is also a time of really big changes for a lot of people. So just embrace these big changes and stay grounded in the process, right? So down at the bottom, it says twisting poses really help to calm the nervous system when you're embracing big changes, which is Virgo. Also mind always, but especially now, mindfulness to our thoughts. So that way we can improve our daily health and well-being, which of course, this is what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to give you some great practices on how to do that. But for now, just as a good reminder, just keep tending to that inner environment of your thoughts. This is also a great time this weekend, and especially on the solstice, to reset your altar, or if you don't have an altar, a great time to create one. rich, colorful, bright colors, summer, to really embrace the newness of what's upon us. As you're all feeling, right, there's sort of an emergence happening. We're coming out of the pandemic, the masks are coming off, people are coming together, and there's more light, right? So dance in the sun, that's a really wonderful way to celebrate the solstice and this wonderfully auspicious time. So here we are getting to embrace this cosmic energy in a beautiful way. So, and coming to something like this is a great way to celebrate. So what we're going to move into next is Prema is going to guide us into something that she has really received a lot of great value from, which is based on the work of Byron Katie. And she is going to share more about that with us. So I hand it over to you, Prema.
Amazing. Thank you so much, love. So as I shared a little bit earlier, starting in 2012 and 2013, I really started doing a lot of business coaching and leadership coaching and mentoring with some amazing, amazing guides. And so I actually learned this practice. It's based on the work of Byron Katie, who many of you may know. And I learned this from one of my dear mentors, Alyssa. And it's mindset work to unpack any limiting stories and any limiting blocks that may be blocking us from creating what we truly desire to create, not just for ourselves, but for the benefit of so many people, because a lot of our deepest prayers and dreams often have a positive ripple effect that impact countless other people as well. So I want to share about this practice that when I was mentoring with Alyssa, I did probably about 30 hours of just taking this worksheet out and unpacking my beliefs, like one at a time. I would take this worksheet and work on it for like an hour, like per belief, and just unpack my limiting beliefs, limiting fears, using this mindset worksheet. So any area of my life, anything from business to money, to abundance, to relationships with men, to my potential, in creating projects or whatever it was. So I used this for so many different things. And so I'm just going to, if you can switch the slide to the next one, love. So basically, I'm curious if there's anyone on here who might have a big vision, a big dream, a big goal that's alive, that's bubbling up for you right now on this quarter moon in June as we approach summer solstice. A big vision, a big goal, something that's alive that you feel spirit is asking to birth through you, but you have a fear about doing it. And if you might be willing to be an example for this practice, to pop it in the chat box, any fear or limiting story that may be stopping you from going for your big vision or your big goals. If there's anyone that can put something in the chat box. I see Tanya S raised her hand. I'm not sure if Ava, maybe you can unmute Tanya. Okay, actually, I think I might be able to unmute her. Yeah, let's see. Okay. So Jocelyn says to become a yoga instructor and incorporate it with teaching children. Okay, great. Let's see. Jocelyn says, I believe I was incarnated to bring peace to anxious minds and hurting hearts through pet therapy. Amazing. Amanda says, not able to go to school now that I've had a baby. Davis says, limiting beliefs, not being intuitive enough. Okay. So anyone else who wants to put a limiting belief in the chat box? And I think, Dava, would you be open to us doing your example of not being intuitive enough? Dava, yes? Okay, amazing. Okay, so for Dava's example of not being intuitive enough, so what feelings, fears, and yeah, if you want to unmute Dava, that would be perfect. So
hi, can you hear me?
I can. Welcome. Thank you so much for being willing to be an example in this practice. So what feelings, fears, and pain points arise for you around not being intuitive enough? And so you just basically, it's a stream of consciousness. You just let it all be spoken and we don't try to make it politically correct or spiritually correct. Just like say the fear, like let the fears have a voice.
Well, one thing is because I want to open a tarot business. And so I feel like I'm not going to be intuitive enough, meaning, my tarot clients are going to be like, what are you talking about? This doesn't make sense. Well, therefore, I wouldn't be successful in my business and it would tank.
I hear you. Wow, that's a big, big call for an opportunity to re-establish that unshakable belief that you have direct access to your soul and the wisdom that streams through your soul. It's your birthright to have access to that. So this is a really, really powerful example. I'm super grateful that you brought this forward. So the first step is we tune into the feelings and the fears. We did that. Step 2 is give voice to the limiting conclusions. And step 3 is so mindfully allowing yourself to look from a fresh perspective. Are you 100% sure that that belief that you're not intuitive enough and your clients aren't going to receive value from the sessions, are you 100% sure that's true?
No, not at all. I know it's myself getting in my own way.
I just got chills on all my whole body. Oh, I love that. God bumps, truth bumps. So Betsy, can you go to one more step here is how would you approach this if you could see beyond this limiting conclusions? So, those moments when you feel so deeply connected to your truth, to your guidance, and you're like, I got this. Like, how would you approach this? What would you do if you could see beyond that limiting conclusion?
So, I mean, if I understand what you're asking correctly, you like, what would I be capable of, or how would I move forward if that wasn't blocking you?
If you really knew that you have direct access to the wisdom of your soul, and that's your birthright, and you're going to be channeling directly from the wisdom of your soul, and your clients are going to receive a ton of value. So if you knew that, what would you do next? Like, what action steps would you take?
Oh my goodness. I mean, there's so many things that I would do. I would just open up a clear, means of communication to, tons of people to reach out and help them heal. I would expand my business plan to include, more services, reaching out to a bigger variety of people. I mean, there's a bunch of things that I can think of.
Amazing. That sounds really alive and juicy.
Yeah, definitely.
Betsy, can you switch to the next slide, please? Okay, so step number 5. What are 3 specific examples of how the opposite of your limiting beliefs are true? So can you find specific examples, moments in your life where it was so darn clear that you are an intuitive being?
Oh my goodness. I say one of the biggest best situations is where there's this community platform that I'm on, or that I was on, to teach me to do tarot, and they allow you to do free readings in exchange for feedback. And literally every reading that I've done, every free reading that I've done on that platform, I've gotten 5 stars in return. So that was a great, validator for me.
Yeah. Amazing. Extraordinary. Amazing. Do you want to share one other example of a situation in your life where it's just been like, okay, Spirit, I hear you. This is my gift.
Yeah, let's see. I'm, in trying to, I'd say with my business, and trying to figure out, what I wanted to do and how I wanted to live my purpose. During, me meditating, me trying to figure out how I wanted to, not only help people, but generate an income while doing that. In meditation, I literally started with before meditating, I started with no idea. I had no idea. I was like, this meditation is probably not going to work, but then I went into meditation, and within minutes, I created a whole business plan in my head and got up and just went to writing. And now I'm kind of on that path now. And that only just happened like a week ago.
Amazing, amazing. Wow. Wow. This, and just, it's just so beautiful how clear all the answers are, like they're right there. And I feel like this quarter moon circle is just another synchronicity of like, you know, of all the people on the call, it just so happened that you're the one who is like in the spotlight sharing, I know I'm intuitive. I know I have a gift. Many people have
Right.
reflected this back to me.
Right,
So
right.
it's like just another sacred mirror showing up to reflect that back to you. So
Definitely.
I love that. So step 6 is bring compassion and acceptance by saying, I forgive myself for believing. And the truth is, so basically what you would say is, I forgive myself for believing that I'm not intuitive enough, or that if I put my business out there, it might fail. I deeply forgive myself for believing that. The truth is that I know that I'm guided, that I know that I'm supported, that I know that by following my heart and my soul, that all of life will show up to support me along the way. And so just so you're making statements like that, and you're channeling it directly from your soul. So the truth is, and such, like that. And then step 7, visualize a specific time when this came up for you. How would a situation like this now be different with this clarity? So if there was ever a moment where you were like, I want to move forward, and then a limiting belief came up and you were like, okay, I'm just going to not do that right now. I can't, I'm not ready. So how would that be different with this clarity, like moving forward?
I would definitely say that, well, one thing is I can come back to this conversation and remember, remember these steps and remember the support that I have, in this community in itself, and also just remembering that, I guess going back to the times when, like you said, I've gotten actual physical confirmation, or confirmation in many different ways throughout my life, and half of the time, if not 100% of the time, it's I have received confirmation of everything, every limiting belief that I have. I've seen the opposite. I've experienced the opposite. So I can just go back to those times and just use it as a store it as a keepsake, so that in the future, when I run across these roadblocks, I can access that and go from there.
Beautiful. I love that. So we have one last step, and that is create a mantra that you can use whenever this old story comes up. So I'm going to give an example, and then I'll pass it over to you to create one that's perfect for what feels true for the way that you express yourself. So something that I would say is, I choose to know that it is my birthright to have access to the wisdom of my soul, and that when I'm guided to offer something that is in service to the collective, all of life shows up to support me. So if you would take that sort of general sentiment and just make it your own, what would your mantra be?
Maybe something like, I deserve to be confident in knowing that I am intuitive and I have all the power within me to do all the things that I desire.
Beautiful, beautiful. And that you're the center of your whole world, and you are the center of your whole world, and all of life responds to that beautiful, confident inner knowing of your deep connection to the wisdom of your higher self. So I would encourage you to take out your journal and just write down that mantra, and maybe even write it on a piece of paper that you can take out of your journal and put up somewhere. Whatever mantra it is that fully captures how you express yourself, put it up somewhere and just let it marinate for a while, and just be with it and read it regularly as you take these steps forward to share your soul's gifts. So thank you so much for being willing to share.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Yeah. And so we'll be sharing, I'll be sharing the mindset worksheet, the mindset unlocking worksheet at the end of the call. So for everyone who wants to do this practice, like I said, I've probably poured in about 30 hours, if not more, to unpacking any and every limiting belief that was holding me back, that I could come up with. And my life really, really started to change after I started doing this mindset work. So I want to pass it over to Betsy, because Betsy has an amazing practice that really kind of goes hand in hand with this practice as well, with her power affirmation work.
Yes, thank you so much. Beautiful, Deva. I think we're all just right here with you and completely relate and really celebrating you. So awesome. Yes. So as you get your affirmation written down, we'd love for you to put it in the chat if that feels good. And if anyone else has any affirmations that are already popping based on that beautiful share, put them in the chat. The more that we read them, the more that we repeat them, more that we share them, the more that they get anchored into our consciousness and start to fill that space up. And then those limiting beliefs, then those start to have less space to be expressed. So yes, please do put those in. And I have a wonderful practice for you ladies. So the integration of affirmations. So I wanted to just really bring forward the importance of using affirmations in a way that is not bypassing a very painful, deep emotion or like really deeply rooted belief system that may have been there for a very long time, because that's oftentimes where we can actually send ourselves in the opposite direction. So I'm going to use the example of not feeling intuitive enough. And so instead of going straight from I'm not intuitive enough to I am intuitive, I am intuitive, I am intuitive, I am intuitive, there's going to be a little bit of a cross wires oftentimes, whether that's intuitive or, if you're feeling a scarcity mindset, you don't have any money and you want to boost your money mindset. If you're going from like that scarcity to I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, it's not going to be as effective as it would be if you were to be a little more mindful on the phrasing of what you're actually saying. So I'm going to share with you some beautiful sentence stems and give you some bridge statements. Okay, so for example, if you're moving from not feeling intuitive enough to feeling intuitive, you can use the bridge statement of I am learning to become more and more intuitive every day. I am becoming more and more intuitive every day. I allow my intuition to get stronger every day, right? You feel the difference, right? In the money example, I am becoming more and more prosperous every day. I am learning to embrace that I can be a millionaire, right? There's these ways of being able to kind of soften that jump from deep core limiting belief to a fully empowered belief. There's got to be a pathway to get there, because the affirmations and the mantras really have to be believable. So it's really important, if you're going to be repeating something, that you really do believe it. Okay, so really encourage you to write your mantra and your affirmations based on the belief of it. So what I'm going to do next is I want to provide you all with an opportunity to write a power affirmation. And when I say a power affirmation, I want to just clarify what that is. So the power affirmation is something that I have been working on for the last many years. It came from my journaling practice of reprogramming, getting clear on what that limiting belief is, and then creating a statement that I can read every single day and be with it every single day and get it infused into my consciousness and just really let it be my personal statement, my mantra, my power affirmation. And so what we're going to do is we're going to get you to write your own power affirmation to support this quarter moon, to support you entering into this new season, so that way you can use it on a regular basis to help empower you to cut through and break through those belief systems that are just no longer serving. So go ahead and grab your journal, and we're going to do a few minutes of writing here. And I have a slide here for you. So while you're grabbing your journal, love for you to also close any other tabs. Just put anything else down if you have a dog in your lap or any other little like things going on. Try to limit distractions because they're really going to drop into writing and channeling something for your highest self, or the evolution of who you're becoming. Okay, so at the top of your blank page, you can write deep breath into the heart. Deep breath into the heart. And the reason this is valuable is because when you're going to be reading this later, it's important for you to really take a breath and be with it. It really can help you just feel it and allow it and breathe it. So it's not so cerebral, right? You want to be able to let your heart open, let your body soften, because we're tense and running around and we're saying affirmations. It's like there's not a lot of space for the transformation to take root. Okay, so deep breath into the heart. Okay, and so now this is a series of stems, sentence stems that you can now fill out on your own. Okay, so you're welcome to write all the stems first or go at your own pace. I'll read them to you so it's easy. I am an embodiment of. I choose to be. I'll just go a little slower to just let you guys write. You're welcome to look at the screen if you've already let that pen flowing. I see myself as. Remember, just it can be simple, it can be poetic, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can refine it later. It's really starting to call forth as something that's going to empower you. I am worthy of. Deva spoke so beautifully. She said, I deserve, right? What are you worthy of? Right? I am committed to. Breathing. If you get stuck, that's okay. Just take a pause and let it come through. I am grateful for. Gratitude is a wonderful way to direct our thoughts. I am grateful for. You're welcome to write things that you're grateful for that have already happened, things that are happening, things that are yet to come. And then closing it up with I am. Going back and reading what you've written if you've finished, and just kind of starting to wrap it up. You can always come back and refine it, review it, remember it, memorize it, really get it in there. So I'll share one last practice with you before we shift gears here too, is that when you're saying an affirmation to yourself, there's something really valuable about allowing yourself to say it out loud and internally. So my recommendation with this particular card that you have or page in your journal, I really highly recommend that you say it out loud one time, then you whisper it one time to yourself, and then you just internally say it. Okay, so 3 times. And if you like, a challenge for you is say this every day until the 24th, which is the full moon. Here we are on the quarter moon. So this is the way that we are watering those seeds right? We are tending to our inner environment, our garden. So this is a tool for you. I'm going to be also sharing this as a PDF in a little while. So please do stay on till the end. We'll be sharing some more gifts. And would love for you guys to put your affirmations in the chat. If there's any that really stand out from what you wrote in your journal, put it in the chat. It's a really, really wonderful way to be able to get inspired by each other too, because when you write an affirmation and you share it with someone else, it might spark something for someone else to want to use that affirmation, right? We get to learn and grow together. And this is just one of many practices that is part of Prema and I's collaboration, which her and I have been brewing some things up, which we're going to get to share more about with you. This is just a little peek into the Power Affirmation Journal and part of the practices of the reprogramming of unlocking your mindset that we get to share with you. So thank you for participating. Thank you for sharing your affirmations, and wishing you all just continued awakening and opening as you embrace this powerful practice.
Amazing. I love it. Thank you so much, Betsy. And I just wanted to let you in on a little insider information, and that is the first thing that I said in the I am grateful for is I am grateful for Betsy.
I love you. Grateful for Prema.
So we're coming up to 10 minutes till the hour, and we are going to stick around for 15 minutes of Q&A at the end. But before we dive into that, Betsy, I'm wondering if you can switch the slide. We are excited to share with you something that is coming up on June 29th, June 30th, and July 1st, which is a free 3-day virtual retreat called the Soulful Woman Entrepreneurs Convergence. And we have a bunch of them. I shared with you ladies earlier in the call that last solstice, I joined this collective of some of the top women entrepreneurs in the world, and several of them are going to come speak on the Soulful Women Entrepreneurs Collective Retreat, which is a free retreat, 3 days long. It's 3 hours a day. And it's basically an opportunity to receive hands-on guidance and wisdom and best practices and nuggets from some incredible pioneering and visionary thought leaders from around the world who are dedicated to using their platforms to uplift a more equitable, harmonious, kind, and sustainable, beautiful world. So the women that are going to be speaking on the retreat and sharing their stories and sharing their journeys and sharing what has helped them to go from being, some of them have had journeys where they've gone from being struggling entrepreneurs to being thriving multi-six-figure entrepreneurs who are leaders of movements around the world that are really in service to humanity during these times. And so this retreat is really perfect for anyone who's feeling the call that they have a piece of the puzzle, an important piece of the puzzle to share in this paradigm shift, this collective awakening that's happening on the planet right now. And if you feel the pulse inside that you have an important role to play, and that there is a whole new chapter of an even more rewarding and fulfilling life waiting for you on the other side of taking that courageous leap to share your message in a wider way, then this will be something that will provide a lot of food for the soul. And so our guest speakers include an amazing woman from the mastermind that I'm in named Nikki Clinch, who lives in New Zealand. Super powerhouse, beautiful soul with such a touching story. She's doing such a bright light. Definitely check out what she's up to on Instagram, and just helping so many women to step into their full highest potential. And then another sister, Leah Kaufman from my mastermind, who is from Spain, and she has cultivated this massive presence of a YouTube channel with 400,000 subscribers, where she's sharing wellness and embodiment tips and practices. And she's such a beautiful soul. Betsy's also going to be speaking on the retreat. and another amazing sister, Himalaya, who is a founder of a movement to help women to be more embodied as leaders. And then Kimberly DeMosantos, who is a powerhouse, brilliant business coach and strategist for purpose-driven women entrepreneurs. And then I'll be speaking as well. And so we would love to invite you to join us on the retreat. It's a free retreat. There are only 100 spots maximum. So if you are interested in joining the retreat, we would love to have you, and we'll share information on how to join. And the other thing, oh, Betsy, can you switch to the slide? Let's just see here. So what you'll receive from the retreat. So guidance on how to scale your soul-led business for greater positive impact and income. Our speakers will share how they built thriving, abundant businesses that uplift the collective. Powerful practices to dissolve any limiting blocks, to bringing your visions into form. And we will also be discussing how to mindfully create a microdosing practice as a way to tap into flow states and inner guidance. So one of the practices that I've been working with for about 11 years now that also helped unlock my consciousness and helped me to heal tremendously is mindfully working with microdosing plant spirit medicine. So we'll be talking a little bit about that on the retreat as well. And then we're also going to be talking about this time of paradigm shift and the great global wealth transfer that's happening right now, which is something that I'm very passionate and it's something that I'm very passionate about, which is, as I was sharing a little bit earlier, this movement where soulful entrepreneurs are thriving at these times more than ever before, and the wealth is slowly but very significantly transferring from these 1% of the wealthiest people in the world and being transferred back into a more equitable way. And I, for one, feel that it's part of my soul's calling to be part of that movement. And I sense that maybe a number of you do as well. And so Betsy and I also have a gift bundle that we would love to share with you all. Betsy, if you can switch to the next slide. It is including, so the mindset worksheet that we were doing earlier, plus Betsy's power affirmation ritual card, plus 3 of my most popular guided meditations that will help to shift your consciousness and open up the mindset into boundless possibility. And then my latest music playlist, which is 6 hours of music, all to help raise the vibration. And so if you're interested in receiving that gift bundle and also an invitation to the Soulful Women Entrepreneurs Convergence, if you can just pop your email address in the chat box, I will be sending out an email as soon as this class is over to everyone, sending the gift bundle and also explaining how to join and how to claim your spot in the 3-day virtual retreat. So if anyone has any questions at all about anything in our presentation, anything that we've shared, or about what the 3-day retreat, what it's going to be like, some of the logistics or anything like that, we'll be sticking around until quarter after the hour to answer just any and every question that may be coming up for you ladies. So thank you so much, and would love to hear any questions that anyone may have. And again, if you'd like to be part of, if you'd like to receive the gift bundle, we'd love to send that out to you. So just pop your email in the chat box. You can DM it directly to me or just pop it right in the chat box, and we'll be collecting those and sending it out at the end of the class. So.
Real quick, wow, guys, you two are amazing, just simply and utterly amazing. I think you filled all of our heads and hearts with so much and so much potency in not just unlocking our potential, but like finding it. I think it's all there for us, but it's just capturing it and allowing us to hone it. This is incredible. And the gifts, oh my goodness, you guys, this is so fabulous. I love that you're doing a 3-day event, and it seems like the Sage community does too. So this is going to be pretty incredible. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So beautiful. I have a quick question too, Prema. Would it be okay to share the Soulful Women Entrepreneurs link, or do we have a little?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So
Okay.
we can put the link to the Soulful Women Entrepreneurs landing page in the chat box. Thank you, Betsy. So you can check that out.
And just be aware that the sign up form, we're still working on the details on that. So that's why we ask for your emails here, because otherwise we'd have you sign up there. So we're getting all the little back end details set up. So there's the link in the chat, soulfulwomenentrepreneurs.com. Yeah, really looking forward to getting to connect with so many of you ladies. I love seeing your emails pop in there. Oh, this is brewing into something really exciting. Feel it. So I'm gonna stop sharing.
So I'd love to see some of your faces. If any of you ladies are open to turning on your videos and giving a little wave just for 2 seconds. And then if anyone has any questions about anything. Hi, Jocelyn Rector. Good to see you. Let's see who else has their video on. Hi, Shannon. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Helena. Hi, Gina. Hi, Carrie.
Oh, I love seeing all your faces.
Hi, Alchemy
so
Moses, Zita.
Oh,
Tanya S. Hi, Christy. Nancy, Abigail. I would love to hear if any of you ladies have any questions. We just kind of, we just shared a whole bunch of different things. I'm curious if you have any. Hi, Mari. Aw, yay. So great to see some of you ladies. And yeah, curious if you have any questions about your businesses, about your dharma, about your mindset, about anything that's alive for you.
Affirmations, anything that came up on the call.
Louisa says, I just want to thank you. Thank you, Louisa.
Well, I want to say thank you again because you guys are truly amazing and fabulous. And I mean, the sheer fact that we're, 20 minutes after and we still have 35 souls just sitting here gulping in all the wisdom that you guys are giving is it speaks to you. So thank you so much. So fabulous.
Thank you so much, love. And I really do want to encourage you ladies to join us on the Soulful Women Entrepreneurs Convergence free event. And there's 100 spots. So definitely, if you're interested, if you feel called to see what's there for you, then make sure to claim your spot so that you can be one of those 100 ladies in the retreat. And we hope to see more of you there. And also feel free to keep in touch with Betsy and myself on Instagram. I'm prema.gaia on Instagram. And Betsy is, I believe it's, is it?
At Betsy Who.
At Betsy Who, BetsyHoo. So please feel free to keep in touch with us on there as well. Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody. See you at solstice.
Thank you so much, ladies.
So much. Wonderful night. Happy quarter moon. I'm sure you might be able to go see it now.
Thank you, Ava.
Bye, everybody.